Democrats and the fake news mad at President Trump for talking about and doing something about the waste fraud that was allowed by the Democratic Party from the Somalia community in Minnesota. How are they mad at President Trump when they allow all of the fraud and wasteful spending and for all the millions, probably billions of taxpayer money to be laundered and fraudulently used to people who come over here and fraud the system, our system, and now you all are mad at President Trump for saying, I'm going to do something about it. While us, the taxpayers, the real Americans, are struggling. We can't even pay our rent. Property taxes through the roof. We can't even afford housing. We can't even afford gas. We can't afford the basic necessities. But you all, the Democratic Party, have the nerve to be mad at President Trump and to call President Trump racist because he's doing something about the millions of waste, fraud, and spending that illegal aliens and fraudulent Somalians have done on the backs of the American citizens. And you have the Democratic Party and the fake news boo-hoo whining and crying about that. We're talking about the immigrant community in fear, the Somalian community in fear. Well, guess what? Welcome to the club. The American citizens, we're in fear. We was in fear when Biden opened the border and allowed 22 million unvetted illegals here. We were in fear when they all were coming in and put in our community. We were in fear. We were in fear with Bionomics when everything shot up sky high and we were losing our homes. Couldn't pay for gas, couldn't pay for food. We were in fear. The Americans, we were in fear. Okay, we're in fear. We're in fear looking at these high property taxes in Chicago and Illinois. We're in fear that we're going to lose our home from taxes. People that's on a fixed income, senior citizens that's on a fixed income, house paid for, property tax and tripled. They're in fear that they're not going to be able to pay those high property taxes, therefore losing their home. Therefore becoming homeless. So the American citizens, we're in fear. We're in fear with all the illegal aliens that keep getting arrested and they let right back out because they don't want to work with ICE or the federal government to let them come into the jails and get them. We're in fear. The American citizens, we're in fear every single day with the high crime, everything. But yet we don't have no press conference. The fake news we don't have no outcry from the fake news or the Democratic Party. But you all want to get on TV and talk about how the immigrants are in fear and they're scared to go to school and go to work. They're legal, right? If they're legal, then they shouldn't be scared. Tired of all of this garbage. Enough is enough. It's time for common sense. It's time for America first. Americans first. But you want to boo-hoo, whine, and cry over a Somalian community that have been shown to have finessed the system, to have been doing things fraudulently. Welfare scams, non-profit organizations that have been getting money that's been going into their pockets and going to the pockets of the Somalian terrorists. Our tax dollars. And you all mad because President Trump is doing something about it. The Democrats know you all should be doing something about it. You all should be held accountable for what you all have did and done and unleashed on the American citizens. How dare you? And then you have them talking about as racist. How is it racist? Listen, stop comparing any other group to the Black Americans' plight. Stop comparing that. I'm tired of hearing every Democrat. I'm tired of hearing anybody who has some color, some melanin in their skin. I'm tired of them feeling like they can just compare their plight to the plight of descendants of slaves. I'm tired of that. We're not the same. We are not the same, okay? We didn't just voluntarily come over here for economic growth and for economic stability, for economic resources, or just to take advantage of the system, because we got stupid people in power like the Democratic Party who don't care about the American citizens and have sold the American citizens out. So you come over here to get to economically gain. That's way different than the plight of slaves, than the plight of our ancestors. Way different. Stop comparing. We're not the same. We're not the same. So stop comparing your plight to ours. It's very disrespectful. And I'm tired of these foreigners coming over here doing that. You come over here and complain about how bad America is, how racist America is, and everything. But yet you don't want to go home. Yet you are fighting to stay here. Yet you are marrying your brother and your brother so he can stay here. Fraudulent marriages so your people can stay here. The Somalians can stay here. Go back to your own country. Fight for your own country. Make your own country better. If you hate America so much. If not, do things the right way. If we commit welfare fraud or any type of fraud, we're going to go to jail. Americans, we're going to be held accountable and go to jail. And somehow you think because you're a foreigner that you just gonna get a pass? And then when foreigners are held accountable, then you got the Democratic Party crying, talking about it's racist to hold these people accountable. Y'all done lost y'all mind. Look. Thank you, President Trump. Keep doing what you're doing. Everybody who's over here illegally, and everybody who's over here who have came over here, but they're breaking the law and doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you for making America great again, for looking out for the citizens. You have a political seat in America, then your first oath of duty is to serve and protect the American citizen. If you can't do that, if you have a problem with that, then you need to get up out of office and go to the country that you're fighting for. Enough is